Hey, it's the AAPHI Gemini, and today we have a very fun, a very silly video because I am in need of motivation and I'm feeling really blessed. So, yeah, I just need something really silly to boost up the mood. Sometimes it be like that. So, yeah, let's get into what we're making today. So, as you can tell from the title, we are making a duffel bag using some rice bags that I have. As you know, I am Asian. I love rice. Rice is life. So I have a bunch of bags that we can upcycle today. The rice bag is one of the strongest bags you could just get. This idea is not really new, right? So there's a lot of videos of these rice bags turned into the reusable shopping bags. These are really strong, so they're really good to carry a lot of groceries. So that's why I wanted to do something slightly different. I haven't seen a duffel bag before made out of rice bags, so that's what we're doing today. I have 4 different rice bags. This is going to be like the main one. I'm excited because it's just so silly and I love it. You know, I just need that today, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Materials we're going to need for this project, of course, your rice bags, a lining fabric of some kind. This is actually just like one you would use for a kitchen tablecloth. This was on clearance at Joann's. That's the only reason why I got this one. And it's easier to clean on the inside, so that's kind of why I got it. It's just a vinyl. And then we have some cording for these straps, a long zipper, and either some D-rings or buckles like this, plus the swivel hooks. You can get whatever color we wanted. I wanted red, but no one seemed to have red ones, so we're going with this. Okay, so first we're just going to cut a panel to size to our duffel bag. This is not going to be a very large bag necessarily. Tell me in the comments what your favorite brand of rice is. This is one of mine. I'm going to use my utility knife for this because I don't want to use my fabric cutter for this. Oh. So we have our 2 pieces cut. The original rectangle ended up being 18 inches by 16 inches, and then I cut 3-inch squares out of each corner. We're going to do the same. I'm going to trace this onto our lining fabric and do the same on that as well. So this video was actually intended for AAPI month, which was May, and obviously it is not May anymore because I loafed. Also, if you remember, last year I made a bag for AAPI month, like really last minute too. It was based off the white flower oil, which is used in a lot of Asian households or some variation of that for any type of ailment, like stomach ache, like headache. If you had any like cramp symptoms or anything like that, they will use it for literally anything, muscle aches, whatever. So I made a bag off of that. I still use that to this day. It's very sturdy. It's holding up very well. Yeah, it's super comfortable to wear, and I can pack a lot of stuff in there, which is awesome. Next, let's add our short straps on. I have some red cording here to go with the red accent of the bag. This is around 35-ish inches. Kind of depends on what length you kind of want it at. Basically, I was going to put pockets like in between here, like, you know, like a lot of duffel bags, but I didn't want to cover the elephant. So we're just going to make all of our pockets inside. But should you want to add a pocket here, you basically cut a rectangle and sew it on first before you do your straps. And you just basically sew it like a straight stitch all the way around. So we're not going to sew it all the way around because we're going to need it to lift up a little bit. So we're going to sew it like probably up to like here. So we're going to sew all the way up here this way. And do make sure also that this is flowing the right direction. You don't want to like twist it because once you sew it, that's going to be really hard to undo. So I have two rectangles here, 15 by 8 roughly. So these are going to sew right sides together first all the way around, but keep a little opening so that we can turn it right side out. And then we're going to use a Velcro to have like a flap enclosure so that it stays closed inside of our duffel bag. Now to reduce some bulk, we're going to cut off these corners here. We got our pocket. So I just folded this edge, raw edge in. That's where our hole was originally, and we're going to sew that in just a second. So how this is going to work is this is going to go up one, and then this is going to fold over, kind of like a envelope sort of. And then we'll sew that onto our lining fabric in just a second. But I want to add the enclosure. You can add like a snap button. I have some scrap Velcro. One side of our liner, we are going to mark the middle of our pocket. So just we're just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to just pin that right there. And since I have vinyl, this creases pretty easily, so I'm just going to fold it right in half. See, right there. We're just going to line that up with our middle. We're just going to sew the sides and the bottom, so all this way, and then we're going to sew right above the flap. So do not sew your flap closed, because then you won't have a pocket anymore. So right above it. Amazing. Hey! Nice. Okay. All right, time for the zipper. So we're going to have our liner facing upward. So then we have our zipper. I have a nylon 24-inch zipper. Clearly that was too long, but it's better to have it longer so we can cut it later. And then we're going to have our outside facing down. And we want to make sure our strap is out of the way as well. So it's going to be right sides facing together. Let's clip that along the edge here. So then we're just going to sew that first. So this is what we got. We're going to flip this right side out. Fold this over. Now our design is on the top, and as well as its teeth are facing up. So that's going to be folded. Second liner here, and then we're going to have it right sides facing up. Also have this side, right side facing up as well the teeth, and line that up. And then we'll get our second outside piece and put that right on top, making sure that these straps are out of the way and it's facing the right way. And then we're going to pin that together. Okay, we're going to sew that straight across. I'm so excited. Sick. So we have our inner liner. We also have our outer. Since this is not really like fabric, otherwise you would just press it open with an iron just to make the seams really nice. I could optionally do that, but since I'm using vinyl, which I could just press with my finger really, and this, whatever this material is, PVC, Tyvek, whatever thing for the rice, you could just press with my finger. But otherwise, if you just had used regular fabric, you could just use an iron to press out all of your seams so it's nice and crispy. I really wish I had like red or green for the vinyl, but this was what's on clearance at Joann's at the time, so I just went with that. After that is done, I'm just going to top stitch it here and here. It kind of looks cute, guys. It just reminds me of like, you remember how like all the Forever 21 like had random collabs with different brands like Hot Cheetos, USPS. Like it kind of reminds me of that sort of. But this is sustainable fashion, baby. All right, so now time to add some buckles. I have metal buckles here, and this fits right into there. I'm gonna do around, let's see, like that much. It's roughly like what, 2.5 inches or so. There we go. So now we're gonna attach our D-rings. First, let's trim our excess zipper. We're gonna make sure the zipper head is in the middle here, and then just cut the excess here. It's another reason why I wanted to get a vinyl zipper instead of a metal one, because the metal one would be way harder to cut. I'm going to place our raw hem of our D-rings or buckles or whatever you guys have. I'm going to place that on the end and pin that. And we're just going to sew that closed. So we have our buckles on like this. So now we're going to basically sew it closed. So we're going to take the top layer, face our right side with our other side here, and clip that around. So we are going to sew most of it. So it's going to be everywhere where I marked a red line. So basically we're going to leave these corners alone for all of them and leave them not sewn. So just the long edges here. We're also going to leave one open spot here in the liner so that we can flip it right side out. So we're going to leave this part open, but we're just going to sew everything all the way around. Pretty much skipping the corners. All right, so we're going to box out our corners now. So to do that, we're going to basically take this corner here, right? Find this inner corner with both hands and pull them apart so that it looks like this. And the middle seam matches the middle seam of the other side. We're going to pin that across. Sweet. And this is what's going to give give it some shape so that it's not completely flat. So for the zippered end, we have two of them, right? So basically we'll do the same technique, right? So we'll take the corner of the inner one, stretch that out, right? And then we'll also take the corner of the outer layer, stretch that out. And then the middle seam will match with the zipper basically, and we're going to pin that all together. Oh my god. If you guys were using fabric and not non-traditional fabric like I am with this rice bag, this will be a lot easier to handle than what I'm doing. Now we have one closed edge. So again, so for our zipper portion, this is the middle of the bag, the top, technically the top portion of the bag. Do the same technique. We do one pinch on one side of that inside square. Take the other side, pull that apart. And that will match with our middle of our zipper. We'll do the same for the other side of the liner. Take the two corners and pull those apart. And match all of our seams together. This is going to be really bulky for me, so I'm hoping the machine will do its job and do its thing. It should, since it's our heavy duty. My old machine could never do this. All right, now that things are pinned out, we are going to sew all of these closed just with a straight stitch with at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, now we have this monster. We're going to turn this right side out using that opening that we had in the lining. Okay, this is gonna be really loud, so I'm probably gonna lower the volume in y'all's video. This is so cute. Stop. Stop. It's so cute. I'm gonna poke out the corners with my fingers. See that crisp box that we made? That's that box crease we just did and closed up. Looking pretty cute. We're almost there, but before we put the liner into our bag here, we're just going to close up that gap that we did. I'm going to sew this with the sewing machine closed. However, if you want more hidden seam, you can use a ladder stitch by hand, and then that will close up the seam without seeing any like stitching, or very minimal stitching, I should say. I definitely wish I made it a little bit bigger and kind of seeing it now, but it's still freaking cute and I love it so far. All right, our last step is adding our long shoulder strap. We have some adjustable buckles. This is optional if you wanted to do that. We have our longer strap. So I have our strap raw end here. We're going to place it around the buckle. So up one end. Oh my goodness. And then out the other. So right above like that. And then we are going to sew as close as we can to the metal bar without actually hitting the metal bar. So straight stitch down a couple of times. All right, we have our buckle added on the other end. We're gonna take this raw end here. We're gonna put it loop through our hook here. And we're gonna go all the way back to the original. And this is gonna go looped around this way and this way. Right, so now we got that end. So now we have a loop like this on one end, and then now take the other one and we're gonna loop our other hook onto this side. Just make sure if you have your seam going down this way, make sure the seam on this side is also on that side as well. So I'm just going to sew that on and then we're pretty much done. All right, we have our strap and we can adjust the length of it with our little adjuster in the middle. Optionally, I mean, this is a little extra, a shoulder pad, you know, those things that go on top of your shoulder for some cushion. I added some batting in between the rice bag on the back side, and then that will slide right on through on the back should you want to carry it on your shoulder and you need some cushion. Totally optional though. But yeah, let's put it on our bag. Okay, let's take her out on a test stroll. Thank you for watching today's video. This was so cute and just so silly, and I absolutely love it. It's so freaking cute. I don't know what to use it for yet, but you know, it's still really cute. I just needed a really fun video just to keep me motivated and get some spark of creativity again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this really random video of upcycling some rice bags. I do have two other bags still, so let me know what else I can use them for if you guys can think of anything. But yeah, I will see you in 2 weeks for another video, and I'm back on track again. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks, and I will see you then. Bye.